What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be on how to drive your rear-wheel drive or your C63s or any other rear-wheel drive car in the snow. We got a huge winter snow today. As you can see, we have a lot of snow. So I thought today would be the perfect day to do this video, especially because the C63s and rear-wheel drive cars are not really meant for winter storms or for any sort of snow on the ground when it's cold out. But we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that properly so you can drive your wheel drive car in the snow in the winter with no issues. Don't forget to hit the bell, ring the bell, hit the like button, and don't forget to hit subscribe. So first thing, cleaning. My car is in a garage, so I don't have to clean my car, but I will demonstrate on what's the proper way and the best way to efficiently clean your car if it's out in the snow. This is my sister's car, which has a huge dent because our neighbor ran into it. But all right, so the first thing that I usually do is I grab the best snow brush or snow tool, snow removal tool. Here it is the SNOWBRUM. I got this on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description so you guys can buy it yourself. Essentially what you can do, normally you have the regular snow brush, but this literally just pushes the snow right off. Much more efficient than the regular snow brush because you can get a lot of snow off and push it off and pull it off the car. This is the best snow brush, so I highly recommend buying this. The link is in the description. Go get yourself a SNOWBRUM, save yourself some time. So the next step in driving your rear-wheel drive car in the snow is warming up the car. You know, there's a lot of arguments whether or not you should warm up your car or not, or you have to, but for me, I personally usually warm up my car 5 to 10 minutes in this cold or snow winter storm weather. I like to wait till my gauges on my car show that the temperature is a little bit warmer than it is on a cold start, because when you cold start a car, you really don't want to just get up and drive, especially when it's this cold out. So I highly recommend warming it up 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be too long, but warm it up just a little bit. Luckily, Mercedes has a remote start app, so I can do it from my bedroom before I leave somewhere. But if you don't have a remote start, go in your garage, go outside in your car, warm it up while you're brushing it off. Just warm up the car before you drive off. So one of the most important things for winter driving in a rear wheel drive car, such as the C63s, is tires. Because you want to make sure that you have the proper tires for these conditions. As you can see, we probably got like an inch or two of snow. If these were the Pilot Super Sports that are usually on the car, this car would not be able to move through this snow. You have to make sure that you have winter tires if you want to drive safely in the winter. Otherwise, a car with summer tires isn't going to move at all. These are the Nokian Haka Politas, which I did a video on. If you want to watch, you can look at the link up above in the corner. These are studded winter tires, which are like the ultimate winter tires for winter, obviously. But you don't need studs. You can just get a regular winter tire, but I chose these because they're badass and they drive very, very well in the snow. So that's the other thing. You got to make sure that you have the proper tires. Otherwise, you're just going to spin around and most likely die. All right, now that we're in the car, we got the car cleaned off. Well, mine wasn't cleaned off, but you get what I mean. The car is warmed up. We can actually start driving now. There seems to be a lot of snow and a lot of snow coming down right now. My windshield's completely covered right now, and I've only been here for less than a minute. So this will be fun to see how this car performs in the storm in wintertime. C63s, not a typical winter car that you see on the road, especially during the storm, but it should be fun. You guys will learn a lot on how to properly drive your rear wheel drive, said that right, car in the snow. So first things first, traction control has to be on. Never ever click this button when there's a winter storm unless you want to do donuts, which donuts are fine. But if you want to drive on the road safe and properly, make sure that traction control is always on. So the other thing is that you want to make sure that your car is in the comfort mode. The C63S has different modes here, driving modes, and there's Sport, Sport Plus, and Race. You want to make sure that you're in comfort, or if there's a winter mode, if this will focus, put it in the winter mode. For me and the C63S and the C43, just put it in comfort mode. That's the best way, just so you don't have too much throttle response, because you want to make sure that you're really easy on the throttle, otherwise you might spin out and die. So the next step is to make sure that you have enough weight in the back. You could either get a really big friend to sit in the back in the trunk for you while you drive, or you could go the easier route and go to Walmart and buy some sandbags or salt bags, which is what I'm doing right now. So we're gonna head to Walmart, get some bags, put them in the back, and we're gonna see that it performs much better when there's weight on the rear axle. So I actually had some difficulty getting out of my driveway while recording the clips. It is just that much snowy and icy right now. All right, the ultimate test. We are stopping on a hill. We're gonna see if it stops before we get in the middle of the road, and boom, yep, we're good. All right, so we made it. We didn't fall and slide off the hill. The roads just don't look good at all, so this is going to be a good tutorial. The important thing is to just keep easy on the throttle. You don't want to be in sport mode or sport plus, otherwise I would have been dead or stuck a long time ago. And I keep saying that you're going to die, but hey, you know, you never know, you might die. But the important thing is to know that it is very, very important to be very easy on the throttle. I don't know if this camera's in focus, but whatever, you can kind of see that the roads are pretty bad, so you just want to be very easy on the throttle. Don't be thrashing this around unless you want to and you know how to drift properly. But for me, because I'm just going to Walmart and I'm taking it easy, it's very important to keep it in comfort mode and just keep it easy on the throttle. No reason to go crazy. And hopefully I don't get stuck because I have to stop at this red light. Another important thing is to make sure that you keep your momentum. So if you can kind of predict whether it's going to be red or green before you get to the stoplight, make sure that you can keep your momentum going, because the moment you stop and you're in a big amount of snow, you're going to be screwed basically. So you just want to make sure that you can keep your momentum going, and that's just kind of timing red and green lights. All right, so we actually made it to Walmart and didn't die on the way. The snow tires actually held up really well. There wasn't too much mud. It's supposed to rain. That'll make it icy and a little bit harder to do. But yeah, the winter tires actually performed good enough for me to make it and not die. All right, so we found the ice melt. I think the price, so that's 20 pounds. This is also 20 pounds. That's $5, that's $9, and that's $8. But how many pounds is this? Ooh, 40 pounds. So I might get a couple bags of this because it's $8 for 40 pounds, which I think is a great deal. All right, so I got the ice bags. Now all we have to do is just load it up, and yeah, let's do it. All right, now that we've got the ice bags on the trunk of the car, we can test and see if the weight difference helps. There's about 160 pounds more weight on the rear axle now, and that should help a bit for control. We're gonna go test it now. It's still snowing, it's starting to get icy out, so I guess we'll really put it to the test and see if it actually works to have more weight in the back, which I think it will. All right, so we are back on the road after visiting Walmart, the greatest store in all of America. And honestly, I definitely feel a little bit of a difference in terms of traction and control. I went into some deeper snow and I felt like my rear tires gripped just a little bit better than it would without the extra weight in the back. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to drive a rear-wheel drive sports car, to have salt bags or sandbags in the back, just to give that little extra weight, because it definitely helps. This road looks like it's been unplowed, so it's honestly like a really good test for this car and for the winter tires. And I don't know if you noticed, but the rear just gave out a little bit. But yeah, I'm going about the 37. The speed limit's about 45, so you definitely don't want to go too fast when you're obviously driving in a winter storm with roads that are unplowed. I honestly feel like I'm going a little too fast, even though I'm like about 10 below the speed limit. But safety is #1 priority, as my friend Crazy Russian Hacker would say. Is he still on YouTube? I don't even know. But yeah, you really want to take it easy on the throttle, because I was in the parking lot and I was just testing the throttle response, and I noticed, you know, if I try to slam it, it's not going to go anywhere. But if I ease into it, you know, it's good. So we actually made it up the hill with no issue. I wanted to go over here, but I think all this dirt, mud, and snow is a little too high for the C63S. So now I'm going to demonstrate how it performs with traction control off and traction control on. And you're going to notice how much more grip traction control on has. Obviously, that's what traction control is for. And that's why I'm saying you got to keep it on. So you can see that with traction control on, obviously 1, it stops way better, and 2, it just rides the road smooth as butter. With traction control off, you saw it didn't really get that much grip, and I was kind of fishtailing a little bit up the hill, but it's fine. It actually works okay with traction control on once it gets its grip. But obviously the safest route, just keep it on, unless you're doing the donuts and the drifts that I'm still learning how to do. So far, this car has been performing very well in the winter storm. With snow, with ice coming down now, it's fine to drive a RWD car in the winter and in a winter storm. Even with a lot of snow on the ground, it really doesn't matter as long as you take the right precautions. You can drive these cars with really no issues. But the important thing is to remember is 1, you got to clean off your car. No one likes people with snow all over their window and windshield. And I know it's cold out and you don't really want to clean off the snow off your car, but trust me, it's better for you. It's better for everyone else on the road if you clean it off. So make sure that you warm up your car, because it's worth it in the end. And that's why I'm not going to say how many miles because that's on the next video, but there's a lot of miles on the car, and that's why it's been performing, you know, pretty well so far. One of the most important things for winter driving with an RWD car like the C63S is the winter tires. You have to make sure that you have winter tires on your RWD car, because if you're driving with the Pilot Super Sports or summer tires, you're not getting anywhere. That's just a fact. And I don't care if you put extra weight or what, you're just going to be sliding around. It really doesn't matter. You have to have winter tires. It doesn't have to be studded Nokians like mine. Make sure that you have the proper tires. Otherwise, you're putting yourself at risk and you're putting other drivers at risk as well. And then we also went over the traction control. Make sure you have traction control on. Unless you're trying to do donuts or drifts, then it's fine. Turn it off. But if you're driving through a storm and you want to make it home in one piece, make sure that you keep traction control on and you turn off sport mode and you put it into comfort mode or winter mode if your car has it. But yeah, that concludes the video on winter driving your C63S or your RWD car. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, ring the bell, hit the bell, do all those things. If you like these videos, let me know in the comments below if you want more videos and tips and tricks on these kind of cars, especially in this climate, because this is just unfortunately where I live. But yeah, it's really not impossible to drive these cars. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well to see some dope winter pics of this car in action. And I want to know if these are the type of videos you guys want to see, so make sure you let me know in the comments below if this is what you want to see. But yeah, this concludes the video on how to drive your RWD car in the snow. If you have a C63 or any other car, it's not impossible. Just do it.